Vivek Ramaswamy has emerged as one of the frontrunners in the Republican race.
Ramaswamy has an unusual name.
Vivek Ramaswamy moving into third place.
Recently, Elon Musk has supported an Indian American named Vivek Ramaswamy, who is in the race of becoming the new US president and is competing with renowned politicians like Donald Trump.
He has also got a big endorsement from Twitter's former boss Elon Musk as a very promising candidate.
But some time back, Musk was standing against him and he didn't have a second with his thoughts.
With Elon Musk but he's always percolating, always coming up with something. He's confusing a lot of people. What do you think of the fallout for him, for his reputation, in light of all this?
But why Musk is supporting him? Let's try to understand what exactly is going under the bed. What all benefits does every industry player is looking at when Vivek Ramaswamy will attain the US presidential position. Hi everyone, my name is Satyam Shrivastava. I'm a management consultant by profession and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel where we try to decipher complex technologies and issues into simpler ways. So let's dig in. With the recent support of Elon Musk, chances of Ramaswamy becoming the new US president is becoming a reality now. But before going there, let's first try and understand that with the presidential changes in the US, what impact will it have in the US and across the global economies, including but not limited to Russia, India, China, Japan, and so on and so forth. So have you ever thought why such a phenomenon happened? Let me give you some pointers to relate to. US is a leader in soft power. It has the Silicon Valley, which is the largest technology hub. USA's military spending is the highest across the globe. Also till now, USA's economy has been considered as one of the most powerful economy in the entire world. So now you see that strategically how important are the decisions made in White House? Well, that is because it has a healthy impact on the world's economy. Now let's try to understand how important is this presidential change actually holds for Indians. Since we share a healthy relationship with the US tech industry, hence the expectation from the new president would be to provide clarity on the policies, and those policies should not have any negative impact on India. And that is why we are looking at a tremendous hype around this new presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy. And that is why he is a hot piece of cake for all the media houses across the globe. Now let's try to understand from economical standpoint. If we try to analyze the situation post Vivek becomes the USA's president, future looks somewhat brighter from the current situation. And this can also be considered as the golden period for India, as India is on the path of becoming third largest and most prominent economy across the globe. And it is expected that this journey will be fueled if we have an Indian origin leader sitting in the US. We have seen similar example in the UK itself. Rishi Sunak, who is the Prime Minister of the country. Also, if you look and analyze the US media propaganda, they are claiming that the GOP primary ratings for Vivek Ramaswamy is standing just next to Donald Trump. And he's leading the ratings as DeSantis, who is the another candidate for the election and a renowned politician in the country, is losing his foot.
So a national Fox News poll shows Vivek Ramaswamy moving into third place. Is that support reflected in Iowa, and does this have anything to do?
Now, if we look at the dynamics, if Donald Trump goes to jail, probability of which is very high, and if this happens, Vivek Ramaswamy will be the new face of Republican Party of the US. Another twist in the story comes when Elon Musk, owner of Twitter, supported Vivek. Now this has boosted Vivek's campaign, as the US media were already supporting his campaign even before Elon supported him. Elon has tweeted from his account to support Vivek, and it's not only Elon who has supported Vivek for his candidacy. Tucker Carlson, who was Fox News reporter, has also supported him, where he has shared his interview with Vivek. Apparently, Tucker now works for Elon. So now the crux of the story is, although Vivek Ramaswamy is leading across all the online poll and his popularity is increasing day by day, but do you think US citizen will actually going to vote for him in this elections? Now why I'm asking this question is because he's not a Christian by his religion and he's a Hindu. So standing today and after analyzing all the available data, I can firmly say that US will follow a similar trend like we have seen in the UK. Rishi Sunak's example is likely to be repeated in the US as well. And this is because people across the globe have seen that ethnicity, culture or race doesn't matter in today's politics. And with Rishi's great performance since he has become the UK's Prime Minister, where he has delivered what he was promised, a likely wave is expected in the US now. Now I will show you a video which became viral after Rishi Sunak became the UK's Prime Minister.
Bapu, Jai Siya Ram. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to be here today at Morari Bapu's Ram Katha, the University of Cambridge, on Indian Independence Day.
After this video, if you think race, culture or color is going to decide political agenda in any of the country, you probably are wrong. Now if we look at the global perception about Rishi Sunak, it is believed that he is the man behind saving the UK's economy from looming recession. He has built a very strong brand image, not for himself, but for the entire Indian community too. And this has given a very strong foothold to Vivek Ramaswamy, and he would reap the outcomes of Rishi Sunak's hard work. Now let's try to understand, if this is said and done and Vivek becomes the president of the US, what benefit India should expect or what drawbacks India should look at with this presidential changes. Looking at the today's situation, story doesn't look very bright and optimistic. Like I have mentioned during the start of this video, that when Vivek will become the US president, things are not going to be very brighter for India. Why do I say so? Because of his comments on geopolitical agendas. His comment on Taiwan has actually raised my eyes. He has showed his negative connotation, which is also very strongly criticized by USA's media. In fact, some of the media houses called his statement as idiotic. This statement comes on the back of his ideology, whereby he intends to nearshore the businesses in the US. Also, he wants to spend USA's money for internal USA growth instead of peeking outside of the country. So now, if you look at the current dynamics, the growth is lateral. USA has largely outsourced the entire manufacturing industry either to China or any of the developing economy. But Vivek Ramaswamy's intention is very clear, that he would want to nearshore all the manufacturing hubs back to the US. So in line with this, he has instated that he will move out all the semiconductor investment from Taiwan. Now the outflow will be rationalized by subsequently investing in different countries for creating new capability. Also, the most controversial statement which he passed was on China's acquisition on Taiwan. He stated that after 2028, post he wins the US presidential election, China can take over Taiwan, which is ethically and morally incorrect. And if we try and understand this from Indian point of view, this is also not good for India. The reason why I say so is because of the Indo-Pacific Pact and strategy, which needs to follow rule-based orders. For this, status of Taiwan needs to be intact as a country. Communist China should not by force acquire Taiwan, because as per global predictions, if China acquires Taiwan, next up in the list are Japan and India. So now you see why Elon Musk is running an internal agenda to support Vivek Ramaswamy. Because one of the prime agenda which Musk has is to avoid a war between the US and the China, as major proportion of Musk's revenue come from China. Tesla's major proportion of manufacturing is being done in China. These cars are sold in China and are being exported from China.
Elon Musk's first visit to China in 3 years is an important one. Praising the vitality of Chinese development, Musk met with the Minister of Commerce, the Minister of Industry, and the Foreign Minister to discuss Tesla's place in China. For last year, China manufactured half of the company's global output, some 700,000 Model Y and Model 3s. Sales of the cars were also significant, with China being the Model Y's biggest market.
So you can understand any sort of harsh sanction being imposed from the US side to China, who is going to lose the most? Elon Musk. And that is why he's supporting Vivek. Also, like Elon Musk, Vivek also has a pro-China strategy which is needed by Elon and his team in order to flourish their business, especially Tesla's business, across the globe. The population is actually supporting this notion. And why this comes as the hypothesis and why it is being supported by 50% of the audience. The reason is behind USA's support to Russia and Ukraine war.
Do you want incremental reform or do you want revolution? I stand on the side of revolution.
On foreign policy, Ramaswamy says the U.S. has no interest in sending billions in aid to Ukraine.
I favor modern Monroe Doctrine, the top priority of the U.S. military.
Whereby US has lost substantial amount of resources while supporting Ukraine. And they're also losing substantial amount of businesses due to sanctions imposed on Russia. So now, if similar sanctions are going to be imposed on China, it is not going to be a healthy move for USA's economical standpoint, or for that matter, world's economy perspective. So in a crux, what Vivek is trying to achieve is he intends to move away the semiconductor investment from Taiwan and shift it to countries like India. And then after 2028, allow China to acquire Taiwan. But this is not going to work as he's thinking. So this time, USA's presidential election will be a showstopper for all the global economies, and in between all the speculation, it will be a great event to see who will become the new president of US. But more importantly, it will be very important to understand the impact of changing policies on India as well as Indian businesses. Plus, when we look at incohesion, what impact will it lead to world's economy? So I would like to know what you people think. Who should be the new president of US and with whose supervision and guidance it will be benefiting situation for all of us. What we Indian can do is brace ourselves for this geopolitical turmoil which might occur in 2028. Although USA's situation is not very good because all the rating agencies have downgraded them. And now the rating agencies are predicting that US will go in job stagnation phase starting from early 2024. Well, that has a mixed set of responses. Stagnation phase or in the job market is good for the US economy. Some are saying it is bad. But with recent downgrade of US economy by Fitch, whereby the rating agency has downgraded its rating from AAA to AA+, I don't see much of a scope in terms of USA's economy performing way beyond the expectation. And if you really want to understand what is going to be the impact of this rating downgrade, here's my video, which you can refer to in order to understand how this rating downgrade might eventually impact the USA's economy, will eventually result in financial crisis and would eventually can cause a default like Sri Lanka. Here is my another video which you can refer to in order to understand why I'm saying that US might default, because it is at a brink of losing its foothold because of de-dollarization and all. So I'll leave it up to you guys to create a perception, create a thought process behind this entire agenda. That is going to be all from my side. I'll see you in the next interesting topic and we will decipher it together. Thank you so very much. Stay connected.